All right, let's talk about something we have all been through, the formal application. You know, for a business loan, an insurance claim, even a government rebate. It can feel like you're trying to solve an impossible puzzle. But what if I told you there is a universal code to crack it? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. You know that feeling, right? You're just trying to get something done and suddenly you're hit with this wall of jargon and fine print and requirements that honestly seem designed to make you just give up. It's so frustrating and it feels like you're missing some kind of secret password. Well, the good news is there is a code, a kind of master key. And today, we're going to crack it. We're going to look at three completely different things: a government business loan, an insurance claim guide, and an energy rebate program. And from those, we're going to build a really simple three-part framework you can use for pretty much any formal process out there. So, where do we start? Well, before you can even get in the game, you have to prove you're allowed to play. See, every formal system has a gate at the very front, and your first job is to show them you have the key. And that brings us to principle number one: proving your eligibility. Let's start with the Canada Small Business Financing Program. The guidelines say it right there. The very first thing a lender has to do is apply due diligence. But what does that actually mean? It's not about how great your business idea is. Not yet. It's about checking a list of basic, non-negotiable boxes to see if you even qualify to be considered. The program even has this flowchart, which you can basically think of as an eligibility gauntlet. It's a series of yes or no questions. First, are you, the person, eligible? Then, is your business eligible? Are you connected to anyone else who has one of these loans? And finally, is your business truly independent? If you get a no at the wrong step, boom, you're out. The application just stops right there. And this just nails the point home. Look at the definition of an eligible small business. It's so specific. Operating in Canada? Check. For-profit or maybe not-for-profit? Okay. But then you hit the big one. Are your gross annual revenues under $10 million? If you make $10 million and $1, you're out. It's a hard line in the sand. You're either in or you're out. Simple as that. Okay, so you passed the test. You're through the first gate. You're in the door. Now what? Well, now you have to prove your claim. And this is our second principle: documenting your case. Because it's not enough to just be eligible. Now you have to prove why you deserve to be there. The thing is, a claim without evidence is just a story. That business loan we talked about, it requires proof of purchase for anything you finance. But this whole idea gets really, really clear when things get visual, like with an insurance claim. You can't just say you own a piece of equipment, you have to show it. So check this out. This is from a guide for a heavy equipment damage claim from ICBC, an auto insurer. The very first photo they demand is a clear, readable shot of the vehicle identification number, the VIN. Why? Because that number is like a fingerprint for the vehicle. It proves that this specific truck is the one we're talking about. It's the foundation of your entire case. Okay, so you've proved what it is. Next up, you need to prove its condition before the accident. So you need a clear shot of the odometer. That one number tells a massive story about the vehicle's life, its usage, and its value. See how each photo adds another crucial layer of proof? And the last piece of this puzzle? The license plate. It seems so simple, right? But it's vital. It proves the vehicle was legally registered and on the road. So with just those three photos, the VIN, the odometer, and the plate, you've built an undeniable record. You've documented your case, solid as a rock. And you know, there's an art to getting this proof right. An energy rebate program called Save on Energy gives these fantastic tips. They tell you, hey, take extra photos, make sure there are no people in them, and my favorite, make sure any text is legible. Literally zoom in on your phone's camera and check before you leave. This isn't just about taking a quick picture. It's about creating evidence that can't be questioned. So you're eligible and you've got your proof. You're thinking you're home free, right? Well, this next part is where a ton of applications fall apart. Welcome to our third and final principle: mastering the details. This is all about sweating the small stuff. Let's go back to that business loan. You see the big headline, borrow up to $1 million. Sounds amazing, but look closer. The details matter big time. Of that million, only a maximum of $500,000 can be for equipment, and within that, only $150,000 can be for things like working capital. If you ignore these little sublimits, your whole application can get thrown out. And here's another one that's an absolute landmine from the same program: the related borrower rule. It's a tiny definition buried deep in the guidelines. But if you share control or even just some expenses with another business that has one of these loans, you share their limit. That one little detail can literally take your loan eligibility from $1 million down to zero, just like that. And this whole details thing goes for our photo evidence too. It's not just what picture you take, it's how you send it. The ICBC guide says the total file size can't be more than 25 megabytes. Meanwhile, the Save on Energy program says your photos must be timestamped and clearly show the model numbers. See? Two different systems, two totally different sets of tiny but absolutely critical details you have to get right. So we have our three principles: prove you're eligible, document your case, and master the details. But it's really easy to look at all this and just see bureaucracy, a bunch of annoying red tape. So let's just pull back for a second and ask the most important question. Why do all these rules even exist? And here's the mindset shift that changes everything. These rules aren't arbitrary hoops designed to make your life harder. They're systems. They are carefully built frameworks for managing risk, for verifying information on a massive scale, and most importantly, for making sure everyone is treated fairly by the exact same set of standards. Once you understand the why, the frustration turns into a strategy. So there it is, your universal framework. It's that simple. Number 1, prove you're eligible. First, just show that you belong in the system. Number 2, document your case. Then, show your undeniable proof. And number 3, master the details. Finally, sweat the small stuff, because that's where games are won and lost. And just think about it for a second. A mortgage application, getting into a university, applying for a grant, they all follow these same basic principles. The specific rules change, of course, but the code underneath, it stays the same. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the code, what complex process are you going to go out and master next?